You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
House rules. Rule number 1, God came into my house and I killed him. Rule number 2, I will kill anyone who comes into my house like I killed God.
It all sounds like some bad movie.
Now, and then there's this, and then there's like Christian rock at the end of it too. Now, and this is what threw me. So Christian rock, and I look it up, and it's wow, the executive producer Mark Sledzinski did the music too for the end song. The one song is by them. It's like wow. But he did a song for another film. This 2000
the one in 2008?
2008 film House that Chris Bujna and Joey here have been trying to get me to watch for a while now.
Right.
So wait a minute. I'd look at some
what?
more.
I should make that my movie challenge to you.
You don't have to, because I watched it.
You did.
You know why?
Why?
Because it was directed and produced by the same people, based on a Ted Dekker novel, and is also a Christian horror film.
Oh, and it was really bad, too.
Yes.
It was really, really bad.
Yes, and I have that listed here. And so I dug that out. I still had it sitting around. They gave it to me a while ago, and I kept forgetting to watch it. It's like, now I gotta watch it. This is by the same book author, by the same producer. I think it's producers and directors. I think it's both. It's the same filmmaking team all together. And it's like, I gotta watch this. Poor Michael Madsen needed some cash.
That poor bastard.
It's another film.
You know what? And I don't have the site listed here, but he has a site somewhere that actually lists all of the movies that he's done and why he made them, whether he owed someone a favor, he needed to pay a bill. And the site is really entertaining, and for whatever reason, I can never find it. I found it once, I can't find it again. But this film was on that list, and he, I believe, needed money.
Now, if you remember,
and he comes flat out. That's what I love about Michael Madsen.
Yeah. Now, House is a cross between Topper and any other Friday the 13th creepy house film you've ever seen.
Yeah.
With a you're bad, you're in trouble when your twist ending of the film is taken right out of an MST3K covered movie, Soul Takers. If you see an ending of a film and you immediately think of like Michael Douglas's like half brother.
Oh yeah.
What's his name? That's in he's in Soul Takers and he's in the werewolf movie.
Right. Yeah.
That's a bad sign.
Yeah, it is.
Now you remember House.
I do.
You remember there's no blood in the film.
None.
Whatsoever.
We watched it. We saw it.
I never heard the story.
We never heard of what story?
What you're telling me now. When you saw it.
We saw it Halloween.
All you would do is recommend the film and then giggle. So no, it's great.
Yeah, no. It was a Halloween night. I think it was actually Halloween night, and we had a bunch of friends over, and we all decided to watch it together. And it's extremely disappointed, obviously, but we kind of knew it was coming. And Bujna was there, and Jose. Just everybody was there. You couldn't make it for whatever reason. Yeah. You had other plans, and the whole time I'm sitting there and I'm watching this horrific movie, and I was like, Scott should be here. Absolutely should be here for this.
Now the film opens up with a Bible quote. The light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. John 1:5.
I should have realized that something was up.
Yeah, that's a sign.
I saw that.
Now I have my own quote for the opening, which is, "I watched this film in the darkness, and I comprehended it not." Scott 9:26.
Yeah, that's all right. I like that.
Now the whole film is about redemption, and the other three was kind of about redemption too. Here's my question: how come Christian horror films do such a piss poor job at redemption themes when the real horror films seem to have it down pat? You'd think the Christians would have
Sure.
like a handle on
Practically
it.
invented it.
We can really get into this. This is our forte. We almost invented it. You know, redemption. That's our name.
Yeah.
You know, leave off the S for savings. We know how to do it because redemption is pretty much their forte. They came up with it first. So why are horror films that have sex and blood and cursing and all the other nasty stuff? Why do they do a better job than it? It's almost like because the problem is like you can't say, oh, we're against evil and then not show evil.
It's probably because they don't take religion into account at all, and they just do
Who
their
doesn't?
thing.
The real horror films.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't really take it into effect.
It's easier.
So they don't have anything to say. You know, well, we can't do this, but we can do this, and we can't do that, and we can do this. They just said we'll just do it.
Yeah, I mean, and House starts off with your typical arguing couple. Who
Right.
I was like, oh well, I'm sure they'll be together by the end of this film, but right now they don't like each other, and it's always about a dead child too. Why can't like a husband and wife like hate each other just because they're really sick of each other? Why does it have to be like a kid that died and dragged them apart?
Which was really neither of their fault.
You know what film actually did that well? The whole husband and wife thing that they're kind of apart and they get back together.
Which one?
Vacancy.
Yeah.
I was shocked because
I liked Vacancy.
The first 5 minutes of that film, I'm like, oh great, here we go, husband and wife. But then like the way they get back together and everything, it's like wow, I'm actually surprised. This is turning out well. But that film really pulled it off well.
No, it did.
So then whenever I see films like this that just can't do it, like the screenwriter is just incompetent enough where he can't make those characters believably hate each other without killing a kid off.
Yeah.
And so then you have the other couple, and of course they're bad because he's rich. And she's a slut. Implied though, because again, no one's doing anything.
Yeah, and because it's a religious, film.
Here's a great part of that film.
They don't.
I love the
deep
fact
into
the one woman. It's implied that she was molested as a child, but this is a Christian horror film. We can't really go too far into it. We can imply it, and they use the metaphor of having her eat pies. I left a pie for you. Did you eat it? I'm not hungry for pie. She's so sad, and she scoops it into her mouth. And then come back later, I got 10 pies on the table. It's like, is this a metaphor for a kid touching? I don't. Why? What's with the pie? Was her father a baker as well as a child molester? I mean,
Just forcing her to eat
pastry obsessed pedophiliac. What's giving here? And it's just and then Michael Madsen plays 100% pure evil.
Yeah,
I know this because he says so in the film.
You are not welcome here.
Yeah.
You weren't invited.
Yeah, that was great. Well, again, it's because it's Michael Madsen saying it.
Right.
I want to see Michael Madsen and Christopher Walken in a buddy cop film.
Neither one of them use punctuation when they talk.
They're both almost talking like this like almost like a poetic lingual babbling. Just put those two in a dialogue scene. Remember when they put De Niro and Pacino together? Everybody's like, wow,
in Heat,
the first time ever. And then it's like, wow, that's kind of boring. You put those two, you can make a whole film with just Madsen and Walken at a diner just talking about the menu for 2 hours, and I would watch that rap. And if I could do any impersonation of either of them, I'd be doing it right now with what about the Monte Cristo? I wouldn't do the Monte Cristo. Why would you deep fry sandwich? Just go on for 2 hours of that. Do you need to do a remake of My Dinner with Andre? But I just
have Michael Madsen and Christopher Walken.
It'd be my Dinner with Walken.
Okay.
And it's Michael Madsen and Christopher Walken. That's it. And at the end, they get up and kill the people in the booth next to him that has the kid kicking the back of the seat, and they leave. Because you have to have a gunfight at the end.
You always do.
But Michael Madsen, it's like you feel bad for him because he's in this piece of crap film.
Uh-huh.
But and you can also tell that he's not really working too hard. But he doesn't have to because they just hired him.
No, he was 10, 15 minutes in this film, and
I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's not as bad as that Alien one he did. I've never seen that one.
I saw the ending of that. That was really good.
I saw like a 2-minute clip. I was like, okay, I can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah, I mean, but also the writer, whether it's Decker or the screenwriter who adapted both of these,
right?
Because I'm pretty sure it's the same screenwriter too. Yes, it is.
It is.
Yes. He has the same MO. Pace the characters through cliché moral revelations, then explain the painfully obvious metaphors in excruciating detail at the end. That whole sequence at the end of this, they have about I mean, literally, it's what they're doing to the audience. They tie the people to their chairs at a table and explain the plot of the film.
Yeah, it's
awful.
awful.
It's like, I'm a captive audience here. You're explaining this house. This house is an embodiment of all your past sins. Yeah, I got that when I saw my daughter drowning, and then the other chick got dressed up like a little whore. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, other guy saw his father that he killed. No. Understand that. You don't have to say it.
We're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You made it so blatantly obvious that you really don't have to give us a hint here at the end. Just go on with Michael Madsen stalking around. Give him a gimp outfit, please. The tin can was a great gimmick in the film.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Because there's a ratty tin can that says house rules on it, and it says God followed me into this house and I killed God. And well, all right, that means he's a bad guy, obviously. Yeah. Then again, that's like the Christian horror film equivalency of evil. How do we know he's evil? He said he killed God. Oh, well, I can't think of anything worse than that.
Baddest son of a bitch around.
How about grinding up babies into souffle? That's evil too.
Bake it 350.
Yeah, exactly. And tender if you do it right. Yeah.
Yeah, flaky.
But, nice flaky. But that's the equivalent of showing this guy's evil. I killed God. How dare he say such a thing? So just the idea that you have to say that God, I'm going to kill God. That's just something evil. And then later on, I'm pure evil. Oh, thank you for mentioning that. That's nice. If you have to explain, have your bad guy explain how bad he is. Mm-hmm. No, it only almost works because it's Michael Madsen.
Yeah.
But I'll only give the film that the tin can idea was cool, and I almost want to read one of these books just to see, is it better than the films? Because the fact that he worked with these people again on House has to mean that at some point he said, yeah, I liked what they did with 3. Yeah. And if you liked what they did with 3, then the book's got to suck.
Well.
So, hey. I mean, but, so if you're a Christian and you're into Christian horror films and you're offended by what I've said, I'm not trying to offend you, but your films are crap. And honestly, if you're Christian, don't do horror films. That's what it comes down to.
That's not your forte. Stick to something else.
You can't. I remember in the late 80s, there was a film, I don't know if it's on DVD right now, it was called Black Roses.
Oh, God. Yeah.
You remember that, right?
I remember Black
Christian
Roses.
horror film that was against rock and roll music, or heavy metal music.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Blast from the past, man.
Yes, it's a horror film that displays the evils of heavy metal music, and it has a teenage cast, but of course there's no nudity or even close implications of sex. I think the biggest they get is one kid, he's going to start, I'm going to paint the town red. So the girlfriend catches him because he's in the middle of town, and he has a can of red paint, one can of red paint, and he's opening it and says, that's it, I'm going to do it. Steve, you can't vandalize, that's wrong. Says, I just have to do something. I guess it's showing up like the pent-up youth and how idle hands with the devil's work. Says, no, you can't do this. And okay, so she takes her home, but then of course they leave the can there, and then fire spouts out of the can because that was the devil's work there, the vandalism. Yeah. And that's as good as the metaphors get in this film.
Sure.
And Black Roses, I think it was 86. Could be wrong.
Yeah.
86, 87, something like that.
Somewhere in that range.
Seriously, if you are a Christian and you know filmmakers that are Christian, tell them to stick to do Passion of the Christ. That's great. No problem with that. Yeah. You want to do cartoons with little characters that make each other sign promises to Jesus? Go for it. It worked 20 years ago. Keep doing it. Don't make horror films.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't do it.
And who knows? I mean, maybe they're just trying to delve into that part of the industry because there's a lot of money to be made there. But if you're going to do it right.
So I think I handled that well. I don't think I actually offended any Christians.
No, I don't think you did.
I think probably my idea of remaking Passion of the Christ as Sin City, that might have been more offensive.
Fox
Faith?
Fox Faith?
Yeah.
I think they got a little...
I should email them and see if they want to do that.
Yeah, I think they got a little excited.
All you really have to do is you don't even have to remake it. Just take the original and make it black and white, and then just make all the blood red. That's it. And then resell it as the Frank Miller edition. Frank Miller, at this point, after Sin City, Frank Miller put his name on that.
Yeah. You mean after the Spirit?
After the Spirit, sorry. Yeah, Sin City was good. Spirit.
It's okay. It's quite all right. Okay.
I beat you like eggs.